Hello and welcome. It's all ended well on this Sunday evening, especially if you're an India cricket fan. India wrapping up this series 4-1, winning this final game in Bengaluru. A very low score put up by India, put into bat by Matthew Wade. India got to 160 for the loss of 8 wickets, their lowest score in this 5-game series. But Australia, well, they fell short again. They fell short of 174 a few days ago, and today fell short of 160 as well, this time by 6 runs on the back of some very good bowling. The spinners again coming to the fore, and Mukesh Kumar also picking up 3 wickets. You're watching Cricbuzz Live. I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me, Parthiv Patel and Zahir Khan.
Where is?
Lost him. Where's he gone?
He's gone.
Yeah, so left armers have done well today. I'm surprised that Akshar did well, Arshdeep did well. Where's he gone? Maybe he's gone to shake left hands with the left-handers. But हम दो ही काफी हैं भाई, हम संभाल लेंगे, हम संभाल लेंगे. आज जैसे इंडिया ने संभाला. That's right. It was not a very big total. Now, if you think that it's happening in Bangalore and what's happening, why is a 160-run total first made and then defended in Bengaluru? Parthiv will tell us that this is not the Bengaluru that you're used to at the end of the season in the IPL.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is something which, we don't expect this kind of score in Bangalore. Maybe sometimes we've seen 230, 240 on this ground. But this wasn't the pitch, usually what we get to see there at Chinnaswamy. I think it had to do a bit of with the rain just before the game started. Yeah. The wicket was probably under the cover for a longer time. There was a bit of moisture to start with, and it stayed like that. And because of the cloud cover, there was no dew on the ground as well. And as we said that the mid-show, if wicket stays like this is an even game because it was spinning, it was stopping, and I thought India's spinners were outstanding. And at the end of the day, the fast bowlers held their nerve. Just 10 runs of last over with set batsmen batting. You would expect that they are just 2 hits away. You just have to bowl one bad ball under pressure, and then the game can be done and dusted. But I thought our fast bowlers also held their nerve really well.
Yeah, luck going India's way in that last over. There was the first ball, which definitely went over Matthew Wade's head, and he was complaining, saying this should be a wide ball, but the umpire did not give that as a wide ball. Then there was one, second last ball of the game, deflection of Arshdeep's hand, hits the umpire, Virendra Sharma. Ball's been hitting the umpire quite a bit. Every game it hits them once. It could have been 4 runs there as well. But, well, at the end of the day, this is all part of the game. And the fact is that the Indian quicks did hold their nerve. But how did they get into the game? That's the interesting question, isn't it? The first 4 overs by the quicks went for 40 runs. But then the spinners came like they always do in the power play. Ravi Bishnoi coming in, ensuring that Australia only got a handful of runs in the next few overs. So their power play was a 50-run power play, though it looked like they'd run away with it. After that, they, of course, had this chokehold on 7-10. You see what they've done. India had a very bad 7-10. The spinners ensured that Australia had an equally bad 7-10, and that kind of got the game even Steven going into the back 10. Let's just talk about the spinners for a second. Ravi Bishnoi has done this every game. He comes into the power play, takes a wicket in the first over that he bowls, service as per usual. Akshar Patel is on the other end, choking and not letting anything happen. But let's talk about Bishnoi first and his mid-ass touch in the power play.
I think he's been bowling really well. That's something which we've spoken about. Every time he's taken a wicket in first over, and more often than not, that first wicket is a bowled wicket. Yeah. That means that he's targeting the stumps. That means he's forcing these Australian batters to go across the line. They know that he doesn't spin, he doesn't get that leg spin, but he does bowl those googlies, but he's deceiving them in the speed and the length of the ball. He's not bowling that too full or that in the range area where we talk about. He's not giving them that area to hit and to free that arm. And you have to be really, really brave when you're bowling in power play, especially when you're bowling on a ground like this, where even a miss hit could go for a 6. But that he's carrying that confidence. He's had a great Mushtaq Ali. I think he's gone under 5 in Mushtaq Ali. So that he was carrying that confidence, but to do it at the international level where everyone's been talking about why Yuzvendra Chahal's not in the team. So, but here again, he comes in and proves to be a match winner for India.
Yeah. Let's also talk about Akshar Patel because he obviously on the back of a good batting performance got 30 odd at 150 strike rate when everybody else seemed to be struggling a bit. Then comes in with the ball. He bowls his 4 overs for 14 runs. 4 overs for 14 runs in a T20 game. Forget the wickets, just the fact that he's bowled 24 balls for 14 runs.
And we are talking about the ground, Chinnaswamy, here as well. I know there was a bit of spin, there was ball was still stopping a bit, but 4 overs for 14 is unbelievable figure there. And especially the way he was bowling to all the batters. I mean, I think that fourth over was the most crucial one there because probably, that's when Team David and Matthew Short were, going really well. And that was the over where we spoke about it, Combox, that if will Australia just see through his over and then get runs of fast bowlers, but that didn't happen. Though Team David was trying to see through him, but he was outfoxed by the bounce which Akshar Patel gets it. But that's what he's been doing it. I mean, he's been doing year after a year. That comes in, bowls in power play, doesn't give runs, takes wickets. Sometimes his wicket tally is not that high, but because he chokes the batsman down, other bowlers gets the wicket.
Yeah.
So it's a classic example of bowling in partnership, which Akshar Patel and Ravi Bishnoi did today. But he's been bowling brilliantly, and it's unfortunate that he won't be on that plane to South Africa.
I was just going to say that. I was like, he's definitely my player of the match today. The way he's had an all-round performance, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him play the T20s in.
And that's unfortunate. I mean, that's obviously unfortunate that he won't be part of that.
South
Africa. He should be part of it. There is no doubt about it.
Yeah.
He was in the scheme of things for you in the World Cup. He got injured. Before that, he has played almost every T20 series which India played, and now it's here. Whatever opportunity he got, he was man of the match in last game. Here he proved himself with bat, and now bowling he's been doing every time. So yeah, I mean he has every right to be disappointed.
He's in the ODI team, right? So India's going ahead with the ODI plans they had with him playing the World Cup. So he's part of the ODI team. But the kind of form that he's in, the kind of guile he's showing in every game, in batting-friendly conditions, bowling to some heavy hitters in Australia, the fact that he's been able to keep it economical and keep them. And you see the numbers and you can see, oh yeah, he's economical. But when you watch the entire spell, you realize that he's really outfoxing other players, and it's with limited weapons, so to speak, because he's not a big turner of the ball, but he's just so clever.
He doesn't have those variations. When you talk about finger spinners, you might say, does he have that carom ball? No, he doesn't have that. He doesn't bowl that carom ball. What he has is the variation of pace, what he has is another thing is accuracy. Every time you would see him, he would pitch it right in that map of stumps. That's when, if you miss it, then you can get an LBW, and if it's spinning a bit, then you can get those outside edge also. Today the length and line which he was bowling, he missed quite a few of outside edge, and every over it looked like that he will get a wicket, and that's why they couldn't take any chances against Akshar Patel. I mean, his biggest strength is accuracy and pace variation, and once that ball's coming out of the hand very nicely, then and coming out at the right areas, so that's when you deceive those batsmen whether to go front foot or back foot. Plus, he bowls with a higher speed. So once you have been outfoxed, then you can't do anything. You're stuck at the crease. And that's the reason why he's getting those wickets. Or if he's not getting those wickets, then the dot balls keep increasing. Last game, there was 13. Today, it was 11.
And the great partnership that he has with Bishnoi. Bishnoi, quicker action, quicker through the air, lot more pace. And Akshar, much taller, so higher release, even getting more flight, slower. I guess that's how they've been managing to outfox the opposition with this good jugalbandi. Yes, they did that today as well. Bishnoi, of course, getting more wickets. But Akshar, brilliant. 4 overs for 14 was absolutely brilliant. The Australian batting effort. I think Australia will look at their batting effort today and be a tad disappointed because it wasn't amounted to high. And I think the one who will be most disappointed, Parthiv, will be Travis Head. He's been in good form. He started the last game well, started this game well, and not stuck around. So he will definitely be disappointed with himself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially the kind of World Cup he had, after being man of the match in semi-final and final, he was the one in great form, and he looked in great form also. So it's not that you can't say that he was not in form. He was hitting it really well. Today he hit 3 boundaries, the first 3 balls. So obviously, Team team looks up to a batter who is in form. The team looks up to a batter who is set, especially in T20 format. And there have been some reckless shots. I mean, if you look at that shot which he played against Akshar Patel in last game, today also it was kind of a nothing shot. They didn't try to do anything, just from the crease, giving away all the stumps. So basically, Australia would be disappointed that Travis, a player like Travis Head, who's got a great run in Test match cricket, in one-day cricket, but not been able to put that into T20 format. Maybe it's like a kind of an example of like Surya Kumar Yadav, where he gets runs in T20 format but not in one day. But here Travis Head is that example where he gets in two formats but not get runs in T20.
And also more so because the only one from that ODI World Cup winning squad who's actually stayed back for the entire series, didn't play the first few games because was nursing a hangover. That's my explanation of their official explanation, which was that he was chilling. But yeah, so he stayed back. The most experienced, when you look down that batting lineup, there's a lot of Big Bash experience, there's a lot of international league experience, not a lot of experience when it comes to playing international cricket, not a lot of experience when it comes to playing in India, right? For a lot of those players, not too much, except Matthew Wade down at the bottom at number 7, and of course Travis Head right at the top. So they obviously wanted more from Travis Head. And I think also, Parthiv, is such a good point that you say that it has been his least out of all 3 formats. That may have also been the reason why he wanted to, and Australia wanted him to stay back, to actually just to get going in this format. So, and he's played 18 balls in all 3 games, got starts, got 170, 180 strike rate and all, 200 strike rate perhaps in the first one, but he's not been able to convert that for the team. So yeah, Australia will be disappointed, as will Travis.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and that's something which Australia would have actually trying to get the best out of him. That someone at the quality which he has. We've seen him how well he has played in other formats. So that's why they wanted him to be in a form. In maybe when going forward in T20 format, they won't have David Warner. They are still looking for another opener there. So probably they would have wanted Travis Head to find that tempo of T20 cricket. Usually, most of the times I say that he's averaging 29. His strike rate is fine. So his strike rate will always be high. That's how he plays. If he stays in, it's going to be over 140, 150 most of the time. But he needs to find that tempo. Once he gets in, you can't just be hitting all the balls. You can't just try and hit sixes of all the balls. So that's something. Once he finds it, he is a dangerous player. We've seen how dangerous he can be. So that is the reason why he's been given those more games, so that once he gets into the form, and then you look at this Australian side in the World Cup, and with Travis Head in form, they will be a very, very dangerous side.
There are some really big hitters who are not here in this 11. Remember, there's Mitch Marsh, Cameron Green, Glenn Maxwell, Marcus Stoinis, and I'm forgetting a few more as well.
Quite a few, yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few big hitters that you require in T20 cricket. Did you see the headline on that Travis Head graphic? It was pretty clever. Travis turns heads.
Yeah, he did.
Travis turns heads. Yeah, I like that wordplay. Come back. But I'll tell you what, with his T20 numbers, with Tests and ODIs, his numbers are turning heads like, ooh. Come back. It's okay. People have read it. Aajao. इतना भी excited मत हो अपने headline पे. People are like, wow. But his T20 numbers are like, they're like, what? And I guess it'll be a little more considering he couldn't win them, this one. These 2 low chases, the last one and this one both. But I tell you what about Matthew Wade, the experienced warhorse at the end, almost got them across the line today.
He did. I think it was under pressure. Probably there was no one to support him. After that, he's done that throughout this series, and he's been doing it in last 7-8 innings as well. He's getting those very, very crucial runs at the right pace. I thought, that one bouncer where he missed it that, Ruturaj tried to catch that brilliantly, but it couldn't. So I think that was probably a 6 ball. He probably would feel that slightly unlucky. But, given a choice, we've been talking about will Matthew Wade be part of the Australian setup or not in the World Cup scheme of things. And he's showing that why he should be part of their scheme of things, because every time they needed those runs under pressure at this very, very crucial position, position, he's got them.
Yeah.
Today, he almost got them home single-handedly. Though obviously he missed it the first third ball of Arshdeep Singh, but he bowled well those couple of Yorkers. But that can happen.
Yeah.
But when you're bowling to someone like Matthew Wade, he's not like a normal batter. He's someone like, he would, a good length ball, he will try and hit it for a six, which is done to Shaheen Jafri couple of times in that World Cup. So he is a dangerous player. So that is the reason why they want him in the team. And on top of everything, he has that experience to carry that with him.
Yeah, today, do you think, and we spoke about this in the Combox, do you think that maybe Australia tactically missed a trick by not bringing him up ahead, maybe 5, if not 5, 6?
Yeah, probably in place of Matthew Short. I think, that probably they could have done that, given him a few more overs, so he would have, got settled and then played a few shots. And when Matthew Short had come in, he wouldn't have any other choice but to play those shots. So, those are the things which probably Australia could have done. But I think they were just, waiting. What Australia has done throughout this series is they wanted to try those youngsters and to see them what they are doing, and that is the reason why we've seen a lot of batting shuffle in those players. We've not seen a shuffling between Matthew Wade and Travis Head, because those two are the established players of the Australian side, and rest of the players been moving around the positions. So that's something which Australia has tried to do in this series, and that is the reason why I thought I'm sure they must have thought about it, but because they didn't want to do anything extra, that's why Matthew Wade didn't come up the order.
Yeah, so we wanted this Matthew instead of the other Matthew.
Yeah.
But there were two Bens as well. One Ben did very well when it came to bowling, and the other Ben did very well when it came to batting. Got Ben McDermott, of course. We talk about Ben Dwash as the bowler, and Ben McDermott, the batter, got a 50 today at 150 strike rate. And he was apparently told that you can only hit the ball in the air because it's Chinnaswamy. He had read the memo. So he said, well, I'm not going to bother with these peasantly force.
That's what we're talking about, this Chinnaswamy Stadium. Most every time we see him there, this is a six-hitting ground. This is the ground. Even if you miss it, I've hit a lot of sixes on this ground. So you can imagine. So a lot of them can hit those sixes on this ground. So
hashtag humble.
But this is a ground where the ball travels, and he did play really well. I think he would be slightly feeling unlucky that it was a full toss where he got out.
Yeah.
But they wanted someone to play an inning like this, because it was getting a bit difficult to play to spinners. But he played spinners really well. I thought the example was those two sixes which he hit straight down the ground, and that's the area to hit when ball is spinning, not going to try and sweep those slog sweeps, which Tim David did and miss it and got out. So I think the areas were right to hit when when McDermott tried to hit, and that is the reason why he got that success.
Yeah, we definitely have to give full credit to the Indian bowling attack for defending 174 in the previous game, defending 160 in this game. A good job done by them all around. There was the 20th bowled by Arshdeep, which was spot on. There was a 19th that was bowled by Mukesh. That was very good as well. It looked at one point in time that the game could finish in the 19th over because Matthew Wade was there. If not, maybe a delivery or two. But I think the two of them applied enough pressure and made sure that they held Australia back. And that's happened on the back of an all-round good bowling performance by the Indian team today. So they've done well, won the game today by 6 runs, which means they won the series 4-1. And Australia, well, yeah, they just had that one game which they won by 5 wickets. But otherwise, and that was a great chase. Nobody backed Australia to get that game. A 222-run chase, but yes, that was a Glenn Maxwell heist. Needed something very special to get them across the line there. But otherwise, this series has really been India round and round. I think if we ask a few things, I would ask, to just review this series. Surya's captaincy?
Yeah, I think Surya was outstanding today. Not just today, throughout this series, he's been very calm. The way he rotated his bowlers. I think one of the biggest plus was the Indian team always went with only 5 bowlers, and that is not the easiest thing to do when you are playing this high-scoring game. First 3 games, you're talking about 200 plus. And he did well by rotating those spinners. He was proactive with his decisions, giving 4 overs to spinners in power play. and every time he wanted a wicket, he knew which bowler was bowling well on that day. He was bringing him in, like he did to Ravi Bishnoi, like he did to Mukesh Kumar in last couple of games, like he did today when wicket needed, he brought in Akshar Patel. So I think, so in all, I think Surya Kumar Yadav was very proactive, and on top of everything, he was calm, because in this T20 format, you can get carried away with, a lot of sixes being hit here and there. But yeah, I mean, full marks to Surya Kumar Yadav, the way he captained the side.
Let's talk about the new groom. Mukesh Kumar went in the middle of the series, got married and came back. I'll tell you something, usually these marriage feasts, you tend to fill yourself up a lot. You need to sleep for 5-6 days. But he came back to the next game and was spot on. So obviously stuck to his diet despite that buffet, and didn't give anything for the batters to eat.
And but he's groomed himself really well, isn't he? The way he is.
Nice, I like it. Good wordplay.
So the way he is bowled in crucial positions, I thought, yes, economy is high because he's been bowling those crucial overs. We bowled 18th over, 19th over, and 28th over. But on top of everything, the execution of those Yorkers were the most difficult thing, especially in first 3 games where there was a lot of dew. We've spoken about it, and he held his nerve, and we've seen them practicing with the wet ball to execute his Yorkers, which he did that really well. Today also, when he felt that there was a couple of Yorkers and then came out and bowled those, low full tosses, those are also not easy to hit. I thought field placement today was brilliant. When he was getting hit, he had cover and long off at the place, and he had 3 point. Usually you don't see that, and that's how he got, I think, McDermott. No, I think that's how he got Matthew Short out, where he was trying to slice it. But all in all, the execution, the confidence, and you can see the areas which he's been bowling to. See, all these Yorkers are 135 plus.
Yeah.
You usually, when you are a bit tentative in your run-up, when you are a bit tentative in your thinking, your speed tend to go slightly lower, so that you want to get that execution right. But he was still bowling with the same pace and executing those Yorkers. So full credit to Mukesh Kumar. I'm sure he's worked really hard on his bowling, because that's the most difficult bowl to bowl, especially on under pressure when you're bowling in death overs.
Well, the pluses for you in this series, India-wise?
India-wise, I think the approach, the way India started, you see Yashasvi Jaiswal, yes, he got start, but he didn't convert that into big ones, but he looked really good. But biggest plus to me, I think, was Rinku Singh.
Rink-a-dink!
I think he was brilliant the way he batted in this series, not just runs, but just the way he's got those runs, the average of 52, batting at number 5-6, that strike rate of 175. Yes, you don't see that highest more than 50 run score because he's batting lower down the order. But he has batted in a different positions. He has batted number 6, number 7, where only 4-5 overs were left, where he finished, where we saw the 31 of 9 balls. And even in 4th T20, where India needed to consolidate, and that's when Rinku Singh showed the other side of his. So he came at number 5, played about 13, 14 overs, rotated the strike, and when he came under pressure, he chose the right ball to hit those sixes. So, he's again showed, I've been, emphasizing on his first class average. That is the reason why, he could play the way he has been playing. So, he's not just a finisher. I think he's someone who understands the situation really well, and then, and plays according to the demand of the team. And that is the reason why I feel that Rinku Singh was probably the biggest plus of this series.
Shown really, really many colors of the rainbow has Rinku Singh. I think you're going to see a lot more of him in this India shirt. Okay, well, that wraps up this series. There's an India-South Africa T20 series to be played in a week from now. There's it's the 10th, 12th and the 14th. So it's happening in Durban, the 3rd in Johannesburg, and the 2nd in a place that I cannot pronounce.
Yeah.
Can you do it? I tried. I tried and I gave up.
Yeah, I tried it.
When I thought somebody had misspelled Garba. Because you're sitting here. I couldn't figure it out. So, but it's not my job. Whoever comes will learn to figure it out. Yeah.
And there's a second ODI also there.
Yeah. You better learn. Huh?
Yeah, I left
by that time. Yeah. Now we got that T20 team. Would show that T20 team, because of course the one big change that is happening there is that there is no Akshar Patel. Ravindra Jadeja comes into the team and as vice captain. So that's pretty interesting there. That's the That's the one change that I see. Obviously, yeah, Kuldeep Yadav comes back in after the World Cup, didn't play this series. But yeah, no Shivam Dube and no Akshar Patel. So Shivam Dube not getting a game in this series, well, and Akshar Patel proving himself in this series, yet not being on in that squad. Do you think he still could be? Could something happen to someone?
Yeah, if something happens to, I mean, he might just go as their extra, but I think the squad's been announced, so you can't do anything. Whatever Akshar Patel could do, he has done it. So, you know, that's what we always say. As a player, you can do whatever, you know, you can do on the ground, and that's what he has done. Slightly, disappointed that Shivam Dube didn't get a game, but I think after this South Africa series, we might just see Shivam Dube getting games against Afghanistan. And there's another name which is coming into this T20 squad is Mohammad Siraj. I think he's going to be an important bowler for India in T20 World Cup. At some stage, Jasprit Bumrah will also come in. So, you know, this is again an opportunity for a lot of youngsters to prove themselves, that to play at the difficult conditions. South African conditions will be completely different. We'll have to see how Rinku Singh plays on that bouncy wickets. It'll be interesting to see if Tilak Verma is getting that opportunity, how he is playing. Yashasvi Jaiswal opening the innings. Shubman Gill's there, so we don't know who's going to open with, whether it is Yashasvi Jaiswal, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Shubman Gill. But, you know, this is an opportunity for all the youngsters to show that we can perform under difficult conditions like South Africa. And once you do that, I think that will be the final stamp which we are talking about youngsters.
Kuldeep plays, then you don't know if Ravi Bishnoi plays or not.
Yeah, so
after such a good series.
Such a good series, yeah. So that's, as we saw, we don't want to be selected here, right?
Problem of plenty. It's not our problem.
Yeah.
Just like it's not my problem to pronounce the second venue.
Yeah, it's like I've always said is, yes, everyone says a problem of plenty is a good problem, but I feel that problem of plenty is a bad problem.
It is.
Because then, you know, every time you'll play someone, and if he doesn't perform, you will be really tempted to play someone who's not playing. So if Kuldeep Yadav plays ahead of Ravi Bishnoi, and you know, if he has a couple of bad games, people would start talking, why is Ravi Bishnoi not playing? It's going to be the same case with those openers. So yes, problem of plenty can put lot of doubts in lot of players as well.
It's a tough one. It's a toughie, I tell you. But again, as I said, it's not a problem. It is a problem of plenty, which now I call a PP. No, I shouldn't call it that.
Yeah, that's because... Yeah.
Sorry, of course.
I'm the only one here.
This PP is joyous.
Yeah.
PP is joyous. That PP is not joyous. That problem. But anyway, it's not our problem anyway. But yeah, that's it. There's been plenty of cricket that has been played. There was the World Cup. There was the Asia Cup before that. And there was this series. I am absolutely exhausted. So that's it. I'm done. I'm done. This is my final goodbye. This is my final goodbye. I'm out of here. PP, I'll get Zach back.
You need to, because otherwise I need water now.
For the T20 series, he'll be back here. So you don't worry about it. I'm leaving you in good hands. But if he doesn't come, don't call me. I'm going to be sleeping. All right, from Parthiv Patel and Gaurav Kapur, it is bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching Cricbuzz Live. The Joy Factor question. Oh, Joy standing there. Joy, you want to join us? No, he's just here for the paperwork. Yeah. Okay, let's show him that real quick. This is the question, and it was a good list. Ricky Ponting, Chris Gayle. Oh, it's not just a list, it's a sequence. Brendan McCullum, Aaron Finch. Let's see what the answer is.
No idea.
Not even trying.
Not even trying.
Not even trying. It's a Sunday evening now. Richard Levy, the progression of highest T20I scores. Finch is the current holder with 172. Acha, aise bada upar. Who got it?
Richard Levy is in my team in that Legends League.
In the Legends League, is in your team?
He's in my team. Yeah.
Please, when you meet him tomorrow,
I'll tell him
that
he
was part of our Joy Factor question and answer.
I'll show him.
He'll be happy.
Yep.
But there's someone who's even happier than that. Is Sharat Sethi. Congratulations, Sharat. Well done. You're the one who gave in the first correct answer. So congratulations to you. Well, that's it. We're done now. So we're going to go. Good night. Have a good Monday. It is Monday tomorrow. Yeah. भूल गए थे ना? जा बैग पैक करो. Bye. Good night.